Let's review multiplying polynomials, possibly in a new and different way for those who had struggled. First, let's look at how we do it. The product of two monomials is obtained by using the properties of exponents. We use the distributive property to multiply a monomial and a polynomial that's not a monomial. So we're going to use those properties of exponents multiple times. And if we're going to multiply two polynomials when neither is a monomial, we multiply each term of one polynomial by each term of the other polynomial. Then we go back through and add the polynomials by combining like terms. Let's take a quick look at multiplying a binomial by a trinomial. Now, many of you have done the thing where you draw these rainbows across from here and you end up multiplying each term. Some of you, like me, get careless and do something along those lines. But some of you also get a little sloppy and then you have difficulty knowing what you have and have not done. So to help those of you who might have struggled with that, I'm going to show you another way of keeping track of what you've done that's a little neater and that you don't get lost or forget what you've done because it shows you. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a box. I like mine long rather than tall. That's just a personal preference. If you like it tall, you can make them tall. But I need one side to have two spaces because that's where I'm going to write my binomial. 2x minus 5. The other side, I need 3 boxes because that's where I'm going to write my trinomial, 3x squared plus or positive 4x plus or positive 8. So I've got my trinomial represented across the top and my binomial down the right-hand side. Now, to make myself distribute, I'm going to fill in all 6 squares. If I have an empty square, I know I've skipped something. So for this box, I'm going to look above it. That's 3x squared. I'm going to go all the way to the right. That's 2x. 3x squared times 2x is 6x cubed. For the next square, I look above and to the right. 4x times 2x is 8x squared. Same for the next box. 8 times 2x is 16x. 3x squared times negative 5 is negative 15x squared. 4x times negative 5 is negative 20x. And 8 times negative 5 is negative 40. Now you get to see the answer to why I wanted to put this on the right-hand side instead of the left. If you'll notice, my like terms are on these diagonals. So I bring my 6x cubed down, and that 2x minus 5 is not in my way. Negative 15x squared plus 8x squared is negative 7x squared. Negative 20x plus 16x is negative 4x. And negative 40 doesn't have a like term, so I just bring him down. No messy rainbows, and no way I can skip a term and not see it because an empty box really jumps out at you. Most of you will be very familiar with FOIL, but I want to review it anyway. Any two binomials, they do not have to be linear. Any two binomials can quickly be multiplied using the FOIL method. F represents the product of the first two terms in each binomial, O the product of the outside terms, I the product of the inside terms, and L the product of the last or second term in each binomial. So a very simple example of FOIL, just to review the process. F represents the first two, so that's 2x times 3x. That's going to be 6x squared. O representing the outsides. So on the far left I have 2x. On the far right I have a minus 7. That's going to give me negative 14x. Inner is going to be the second and the first, that's 5, and the first and the second, that's 3x. And 5 times 3x is 15x. Then last, 5 times negative 7 is negative 35. As you probably noticed in earlier classes, negative 14 and 15 will give you a positive 1x. The outer and inner terms can typically be combined. Now don't think that that always happens, because I don't have to give you linear binomials. So my final answer, combine them, 6x squared plus x minus 35. Now to answer a really important question. Do I really write this out every time? No. I use the process full, but I do it in my head, realizing when I'm multiplying the outer and inner that I'm going to combine them together. And what it then looks like is just that I came up with 6x squared plus x minus 35.